Hello, and welcome to the Path to Freedom podcast, a podcast that is about how you can tap into the freedom that is inherent within you, regardless of what is going on in the external world. Freedom from fear, worry, and doubt. Freedom to follow your heart's desires. Freedom to live in joy, love, peace, and harmony. My name is Daniel Roqueo, and I'm your host. Hello, and welcome to the Path to Freedom podcast, a podcast that is about how you and me and we can all tap into the freedom that is inherent within us, intrinsic to our nature. The freedom that brings out the peace and the love and the joy, dissolves fear, worry, and doubt, that allows us to follow our heart's desire, our soul's desire, regardless of circumstances. So this is the 7th episode, I think. And the topic of this episode is, it's better to be grateful than resistful. It's better to be grateful than resistful. Before we get into that, I invite you all to, for a brief moment, just close your eyes wherever you are, unless you're driving in your car or out in traffic. But if circumstances allow it, I invite you to close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and relax. And give yourself permission to come back to this moment, to the nowness of this moment which is a new moment, a moment of resetting, of starting again, starting fresh. It's a fresh start. Each moment is a fresh start. Each moment is a new moment. And as we now close our eyes, and as we now begin to relax, excuse me, we allow this moment to be such a moment. So whatever you're carrying with you in this moment, I invite you to open and expand. Feel yourself opening and expanding. Feel your mind opening and expanding. And this is, if you've tried it before, perhaps you're noticing that this is a physical sensation. It's not just words that we say or words that I say, but something actually happens when I say these words, open and expand. So give yourself permission to do just that, open and expand. Keep breathing. Allow your body to do the breathing for you. The body, with all its divine intelligence, knows how to breathe. You don't have to breathe, but it breathes for you. So just relax. Pay attention to your breathing, to your breaths. And now, as you've opened and expanded, I invite you to embrace and allow all that which is to be as it is. Embrace and allow. Feel yourself relaxing Feel yourself embracing and allowing, and now release and let go of whatever you brought with you to this moment. Release it, let it go. In this moment, it doesn't matter, it's not important. Come back to this moment, the nowness of this moment, and just be. Give yourself permission to dive right into the peace that is right here in this moment. This is a high and holy moment where all of the peace, all of the love, all of the joy, freedom, harmony, abundance, beauty, prosperity, wholeness, all of that is right here in this moment. We're stepping out of time. As we come back to this moment, we're stepping out of time. We're going beyond time. We're leaving the past, the present, and the future, and we step into the eternal. And now, I invite you, as the topic is today, that it's better to be grateful than resistful. I invite you to think of something that you're grateful for. Take on that feeling tone of being grateful. Like right now, I am so grateful that I get to record this. I'm so grateful that I get to record this. I'm so grateful for my life, for all that my life is. All the blessings, all the challenges, all the wonderful things that are happening in my life. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for you, that you are here, that you're participating in this. I'm grateful for this moment because right in this moment, right now, my vibration is being elevated. It's being raised. I'm being pulled up to a higher frequency. I'm so grateful for my body, how it serves me so loyal and so diligently. All that it does that I'm not even aware of. But it keeps itself whole, it keeps itself well. I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for it. I'm grateful for who I am. I'm grateful for who I am becoming. I'm grateful for all the moments that have led up to this moment that allows me to be right here, right now. Because if it wasn't for those moments, this moment wouldn't be the way it is right now. It would be a different moment. But I love this moment. I'm grateful for this moment. So just take on that feeling tone of gratitude. Release and let go of that which you may have brought with you into this moment. Right now, you have the opportunity, you have the ability to turn your attention away from that and turn it toward that which is working, that which is to your liking. All the gifts, blessings, miracles that are happening right now in this moment. Feel how good it feels to be grateful. Feel how good it feels to be appreciative, to be thankful. It's such a blessing that we can actually do this consciously, that we can actually choose where to turn our attention. It is such a blessing. All right, so I invite you to open your eyes. Let's dive into the topic for this day. that it's better to be grateful than to be resistful. We live in a feeling universe, a universe that is alive, that is corresponding to the nature of our being, our predominant thoughts and feelings. And thoughts and feelings, another word for thoughts and feelings is vibration, our vibration or our frequency. In every single moment, we're emitting a frequency. In every single moment, we're radiating or broadcasting a vibration that the universe, the sacred laws, life picks up. Our chronic thoughts, our chronic feelings, our predominant vibration will be reflected back to us, into our lives, into our experience. And this is why it is so much better to be grateful than to be resistful. Let's dissect the word resistful a little bit. When we're resisting something means that we don't want it to be the way it is. In our minds, we have this opinion that it should be another way. Circumstances should be something else than what they are. So another way of saying it is that when we're resisting something, we come from a place of it being wrong. It's not supposed to be like this. It's not supposed to be this way. So that's where resistance comes from. And ultimately, resistance comes from fear. The fear of, like we talked about a while ago, the major perception of the ego, or the mantra, as I used to call it, that I am not enough and there is not enough. That's the basic perception that the ego operates from. And so anyone under the aegis of the ego, and the ego, of course, is that that space within us that give rise to opinions and judgments and point of views and all of that. And so when we're resisting something, what we're saying is that this should not be. This should not be. You may have heard that there's a statement that goes, that it's no use to worry about anything because worry won't change anything. That is actually not true. That is actually not true because, as I said, this whole universe is a feeling universe corresponding to our very vibration, to our every thought, our every feeling, our every emotion. And whatever we're in vibrational alignment with will be reflected back, will manifest in our experience at one point or another, as long as we hang out in that vibration. And so the vibration of worry is actually a low vibration. It's a low vibration. And you cannot get a high vibration manifestation from a low vibration broadcast. It's an impossibility. So it is true that worrying or being afraid does not serve us. It has no value for us to hold on to worry and doubt and fear. But if we do hold on to it, if we do hang out in those low vibrations, what will come into our experience will be corresponding to that low vibration. So whatever we're worrying about, whatever we're fretting about, whatever we predominantly or chronically talk about, think about, feel about, that is not going to go as we want it to go. Whenever we project our fears and worries and doubts onto the future and sort of get a preview of coming attractions. Whatever we're in vibrational harmony with right now is a preview to coming attractions. So worrying does not serve us. It does affect the future moments, but it does not serve us. All worrying does, except for amplifying and magnifying the very thing we're worried about or fearful about or doubtful about, is that it creates circumstances and conditions for the body to go into disease and illness. Worrying, being anxious, fretful, creates toxic chemicals within the body. Chemicals that produces or produces conditions that are not healthy for the body. So we are well and wise to release and let go of resistance, of fear, worry, and doubt. And whatever it takes to move into the higher vibration of gratitude, because gratitude is a high vibration. It's a high, high, high vibration. And as we hang out in that high vibration, we're calling forth experiences, manifestations that correspond to that high vibration. And you cannot, just as you cannot expect a high manifestation, high vibration manifestation from a low vibration broadcast, you cannot expect a low frequency manifestation from a high vibration broadcast or signal or a message. But as we hang out in these higher levels of vibration, as we choose to, and this is a choice, it's not going to happen by its own accord. It's not going to just happen, but it is work. It is us, it is we that need to do the inner work of moment by moment by moment by moment, choosing the higher vibrations, choosing gratitude, choosing thanksgiving, choosing appreciation. It is a choice, moment by moment choice. So it's inner work. It's not just gonna happen. But what happens when we do that is that we elevate our vibration to higher and higher levels, and the whole universe will rise up to meet us at that higher vibration. Moving, flowing into our lives, experiences that match that high vibration. So these are not just words. It is not just, perhaps you've heard people say that gratitude is, that there's a law of gratitude, and that it's a good place to be, that high vibration of gratitude. And it is, but not only because it feels good, but because in each and every moment we shape our lives. Each and every moment is, like we began this session, each moment is a fresh start. Each moment is a moment of resetting. The laws, they don't care about where we've been, what we've done, where we're from, what we look like. They don't care about any of that. The laws are impersonal and they are immutable, which means that they work the same always. They work the same always. High vibration will give high vibration experiences. Low vibration will give low vibration experiences. By law. By law. There's a law of gratitude. which is that the more we're grateful, the more we will be given to be grateful for. This is law. This is law. Take a breath. Now, once again, open and expand. Seek to be willing to see the good in everything, because the good is everywhere. God is forever for all of us, each of us, never against any of us. But sometimes we cannot see the good present. But in this moment, I invite you to set the intention to actually see, not with your eyes, but see or feel or hear or sense the good in every circumstance, in every situation. Because the good is always there. The good is always there. So I invite you to open and expand into that you may see and hear and feel that which cannot always be seen or heard or felt with the human senses. And now, I invite you to embrace and allow that good to be, which in this case means that we need to bracket or find a way to mute the ego that will sometimes, oftentimes, want to play the victim card. It is very convenient for the ego to blame other people, external circumstances, situations, conditions. It is very convenient for the ego to place blame, because that means that the ego, or us, that we don't have to take responsibility for our own vibration, for what we're thinking, for what we're feeling, because it's their fault. It's someone else's fault. But this will not bring about freedom. Freedom is brought about, freedom is called forth when we learn to take full responsibility for what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and ultimately what we're doing. So embrace and allow that egoic voice that may be serving you loads of excuses right now and reasons as to why not choose gratitude. And now when you've embraced and allowed it, I invite you to release and let it go. So you first opened and expanded, and then you embraced and allowed it. Now it's time to let it go. It's time for us to begin to take full responsibility for our own vibration and frequency. I said that God is forever for us. And this is so. This is true. And this is so because God is everywhere. God is in us. And the will of God is for all of life to come into greater and grander expression, so that God may come into greater and grander expression in and as us, in and through us. And so God is forever for us. Always right where we are. Now, as we're here on this planet to grow and unfold, to expand, to allow for greater and grander versions and iterations of who we are to come forth, to emerge, we need to own up to those greater and grander versions. We need to do the inner work necessary that they may come forth, which means that we will be served challenges. We will face challenges. Some call them problems. I call them challenges. And challenges are nothing but divine gifts and blessings of transformation. Each and every single one of all of our challenges. You have your challenges, I have my challenges. My challenges are uniquely and divinely designed for me. Your challenges are uniquely, divinely designed for you. That we may grow, that we may expand. They are moments of preparations where we're being prepared to expand our perspectives, to expand our perceptions, to raise our vibration. They're like training camps. It's like a training camp. So whenever we face a challenge, I invite you to come back to this episode. I invite you to come back to the awareness that your challenge is a blessing. It's a gift. It is called forth that you may take the next step in your unfolding. It is called forth that you may allow the next great version and vision of who you are to come forth. Which means that we need to face the challenges not as obstacles or problems or God denying us or punishing us or delaying things. Challenges are not to make our lives miserable. They are not God on our case. But they are gifts. And sometimes, if it's hard to see or feel the good in the challenge, there are little tricks that we can use, questions that we can ask that will sort of lure the good to reveal itself. Some individuals, when faced with a challenge or a problem, they'll ask, why me? God, why me? Or why now? Or why again? Or something to that effect. The answer to those questions do not serve us, because the answer to those questions will only reveal all these reasons why we will not ever be happy, why we will not ever make it, why we will not ever whatever. So it's important that we ask the right kind of questions that do serve us. And I've got a couple that I want to share with you. One very powerful question is, what good is here right now that I cannot see? What good is here right now that I cannot see? That's one question. The other question is simply, what's my lesson here? What's my lesson here? Both of these questions, the universe, life, God will answer any and all of our questions. So when we ask these questions, we make ourselves open and available to receive the answer that will actually serve us. So we ask these questions, what good is here right now that I cannot see? Or what's my lesson here? And then from there, we give thanks. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks. We always want to start with giving thanks, which is why we begin this we began this episode, and we've begun other episodes as well, with giving thanks, because that high vibration will call forth experiences matching that high vibration. So we always want to give thanks, even though we perhaps cannot see the good that is here right now. We still want to give thanks, because it's much, much, much better to be grateful than resistful. They're worlds apart. They're worlds apart. Being resistful calls forth corresponding experiences of lack and separation, not enoughness, of being a victim. Being grateful calls forth corresponding experiences of blessings, miracles, gifts flowing into our lives. And we need not know how to move through a challenge. We need not know. But as we reach and retain that high vibration of gratitude, even though I cannot see the good, as we hang out in that high vibration, the answers, the solutions, the way forward will reveal itself, because we're not resisting it, but we're open and willing to expand our minds, to expand our perceptions, to expand our perspectives. And this willingness will be rewarded. God will move and guide and lead, pull us, show us the way forth, the way forward, if we're but willing. We talked about a couple of weeks ago, I think, about the power of intention. And I cannot emphasize that enough. That just setting the intention to want to be more grateful is so, so, so powerful. So, so, so powerful. There's a huge difference in my life today than from a number of years back, when I used to be resisting everything and anything. I was a victim all of the time. Life was a pain in the butt. I thought everything was against me. And then I've gradually come into the awareness and the realization that everything is for me. Even that which my surface mind does not approve of. Even that which my ego loudly objects and protests against. It is all working for me. I know it, I feel it, I accept it, I give thanks for it, and I allow it to be. And it is working for me. Everything is working for me. Just as everything is working for you. So that's my challenge to you until the next week. To whenever you find yourself facing a challenge, open and expand, embrace and allow, and release and let go of all those opinions and point of views, thoughts of what should and should not be, because they're useless. They're useless. They have emerged from past experiences, social trends and cultural trends, and but they have nothing to do with life. They have nothing to do with freedom and peace and harmony and joy and love. So release them. They don't serve you. But embrace and allow and give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. There's it reminds me, there's a statement that the enlightened gives thanks for what most people take for granted. And this is exactly why, for two reasons, that the enlightened does give thanks. Number one, the enlightened knows that everything is working for his or her good, even though the surface appearance may be something else. But ultimately, everything is working for our good. Everything. This the enlightened knows. Two, the enlightened also knows that there's a law of gratitude. That the more grateful we are, the more we will be given to be grateful for. That the sacred laws are always corresponding and reflecting back our vibration. This the enlightened knows also. Take a breath. And right now, in this moment, allow gratitude to well up from within you. And notice that it's not coming from anywhere outside of you. It does not come from the world, but it comes from within, from this infinite source of good, peace, joy, love, beauty, intelligence, creativity, harmony, freedom. From that source within you. This is where gratitude comes from. So allow it to well up. Allow it to fill every fiber and every muscle and every cell, every organ of your body, every space and place of your being. Allow it to well up. Just rest here for a while. Just be here for a while. And notice how good it feels. Pay attention to how great it feels to hang out in this high vibration. Life is good. Life is good. Always and forever. If only we let it. And this is how we let it. This is how we give life permission to be good. By seeking to see it. By seeking to feel it. That is how. Life is always good. But when we resist it, that good passes us by. Flows by unnoticed. But now we're noticing it. We're paying attention to it. And we call it forth. It is so, so, so much better to be grateful than resistful. So, so much better to be grateful than resistful. Resistance doesn't serve us. Fear doesn't serve us. Worry doesn't serve us. Doubting doesn't serve us. Gratitude, it does serve us. It serves us so well. It serves us so well. Every time we encounter another individual who may or may not act the way we want them to, we can choose to be grateful because life is giving us an opportunity to open and expand, to learn something, to grow. Every time we experience or are faced with a challenge of another nature, we can choose to be grateful because ultimately that challenge is for our good, regardless of the surface appearance, regardless of whether we can see it or feel it or sense it or not. We want to hang out here. We want to hang out in this high vibration. We want to hang out in this awareness. So take one last breath. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for participating in this, for making this, I was going to say possible, but that's not it. But for helping co-create this into what it is, by helping to create this field of gratitude that we're now creating, that we have been created. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful that you are here. It is a blessed space. It is a blessed place. And if we can hang out here for periods of time, and this is like a muscle, being grateful is like a muscle. The more we practice it, the more we choose it, the easier it's going to be. The stronger the gratitude muscle is going to be. Until we live here permanently, only to find that there's a next level, and a next level, and a next level, and a next level. Higher and higher and higher we go on this infinite journey of the soul. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for choosing to tune in. If you want to connect or reach out, give feedback, good or bad, all are ultimately good. You can find me on Facebook. You can send a message via Facebook, via Twitter, via Instagram, via my website, danielroqueo.com. And I would love to hear from you. Whatever you have to say, I would love to hear it. So please don't be a stranger. All right. I'm done. We're done. Let's just finish this off with this high vibration of gratitude. And let's make a vow. Let's set the intention to not let it go. Let's set the intention to not let circumstances bring us down, to not let other people bring us down from this high vibration. It doesn't mean that we deny bad things. It doesn't mean that we shy away from bad things. It just means that we choose to hang out here in this high vibration regardless of circumstances. And this high vibration, this is the best place and space to serve the world. It's a powerful force for good. Powerful force for good. So until the next time, I bless your way, and I bless your day. You have been listening to an episode of the Path to Freedom podcast with me, Daniel Roqueo. Please stay tuned for more episodes. And for even more inspiration and empowerment, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. I also invite you to visit my website, danielroqueo.com. Blessings of love and light to you.